Hey guys, the markets and NIO is down considerably, as you can see, and the reason for that is actually that the Fed has just had a meeting today, which I actually watched live, and it is about the debt ceiling of the United States. And I want actually previously in my Evergrande video that the world is watching Evergrande right now, but actually we should be watching this, which is kind of a reoccurring event, that there is a limit on how much debt the US can take out, and well, there is kind of a political situation going on currently between the parties in the US, whether or not the ceiling will be lifted once again in order to fund the government. And as you can see today, the market is clearly not happy about the way the meeting went. I have to clearly say that at this point in time, to me, it's not fully transparent what will be the outcome. My initial take was always that there will be a solution, and the deadline is actually the October the 18th, so there is still some time, but it may be until the last minute. Some good takeaways are that the tapering is going to be moderate. That was reiterated again today, and that the interest rates are likely to stay low. But obviously that doesn't help in case that the debt ceiling is not taken off and lifted. Otherwise, and that was also a topic of today, Yellen announced that there would be a financial crisis. So, well, of course, the markets are really not happy around this. Yesterday, actually, NIO broke out with a big green candle of this downtrend, supported here by the lower range of the fib. The lower fib range here, and now is obviously coming back down and really in a desperate position here. We don't know what's going to happen next, of course, but what we had today, something that I actually also announced here in my Patreon community, is that NIO has some unverified rumors at this point that it has actually hit already today 10,000 deliveries, and the internal target is actually 10,700 deliveries. What I also mentioned here in my Patreon post is that this is not a source that I have previously used, so I cannot say whether or not there is a legacy of this source, that this is reliable. So for me, this is just a rumor right now. Currently, I'm not relying too much on this, what would be a great delivery number for NIO actually. So this is just a rumor, so I don't want to give this any credibility as of now. Personally, my gut feeling would be that it will be lower than this, but anyways, I would obviously take this for sure. This would be great news for NIO. This went along with lots of footage that actually many of the NIO showrooms are now missing cars, in terms of that the showrooms are sold out. They are possibly giving away the last cars that are usually having placed in those showrooms in order to pump the delivery. So that is something which we usually see only from Tesla, indicating a very strong demand. But on the other hand, this could also be once again be a result of the fact that the production is lagging, and NIO obviously at this point in time is supply constrained. But these are usually pictures that we see similarly from Tesla, not only in China, but globally. And so I would say this is currently pretty much a gamble into the delivery numbers in early October. The macro environment, as I explained, is looking not really good. On the NIO terms, we have some positive news here, indicating strong sales and deliveries, but for now this is only speculation. To be honest, I am a bit worried about this macroeconomic situation regarding how the whole debt crisis in the US will actually turn out in the end. But for now, my take and my hope is actually that this will be solved before the deadline. Otherwise, well, I don't really want to think what will happen to the financial markets, but also the entire US economy if that won't be solved. For now, I do keep buying some of my conviction positions, which are now Xunlei, Exnet, SEP, as well as Tiger stock, which are beaten down. But on the Tiger one specifically, I have to say that the chart is currently really not looking good. It is below the previous support levels here and the lower fib range. But generally my take is that this company still has upside valuation potential in the future, and so I'm sticking to it and actually use some of these dips here to add to my position currently. So similar to what I'm doing to Xunlei previously, I have some news here regarding direct communications with the investor relations that I've done, as well as SAP Health. But that is currently only disclosed in my Patreon community. So if you want to have some updates on that, please consider becoming a part of this community where we have daily exchanges around what's going on, and also where I from time to time publish some deep dive business cases as well as updates on some of these positions. Now, after my shameless advertisement for my Patreon community, let me finish with something positive around NIO, which I think most analysts are currently missing, and that is the news around NIO's battery asset management company, in which they are now investing 15.5 million for a new research institute. Now, the big thing about this news is around the full battery cycle, which is the goal here regarding power battery recycling system. I think this could be $1 billion opportunity for NIO, and actually this is something where battery swapping comes in quite handy. Now let me connect the dots for you here. Battery recycling is a huge future topic, not only for NIO, but for the entire industry. Because frankly, it's a huge issue. You know, after this whole life cycle of a car, of electric car, what do you do with the battery, and also the purchasing or extracting of these materials in order to build the batteries can be quite costly, right? And coming back to this news here, connecting the dots, this is news about Redwood Materials, which has raised 700 million in a race to revolutionize the battery recycling for electric cars. And this company is created by the Tesla co-founder and former chief J.B. Straubel. So what this company will be doing is actually extracting some of the consumer batteries in order to recycle the materials for building new battery packs that can go into electric cars. Now here's the issue. With Tesla you cannot really easily swap in a new battery, right? But NIO can do this. So this is why this establishment of this new research institute for the battery asset management company of NIO is really super big news in my views, because what NIO can easily do with the ecosystem of the battery swapping stations is to establish a full circle in which older batteries are kind of faded out of the system, but then recycling the materials in order to add them to some new battery packs with the latest technology. For instance, with this new cell chemistry battery pack that NIO has just introduced. And so some of these materials can actually go back into new battery packs, which then can also just be disseminated to the fleet by using the battery swap station. And so ultimately, what could be the final picture here, even that maybe at some point in time, NIO doesn't even need to purchase new materials for batteries going into those systems, because they can start just recycling them. And there is actually not much money involved in order to swap out faulty or degraded batteries and creating new battery packs out of these, in case that the materials are actually fitting to what is needed in the new system. So I'm really excited about this optionality and opportunity there for NIO, and with the battery asset management company in which NIO is invested and has actually just increased their stakes, in which CATL is invested, in which all of the batteries are actually currently the assets of this company. I think the opportunity there is quite big, and I would say frankly that this news was kind of flying under the radar in terms of what is the business potential. And even on the bigger picture, NIO could become here one of the most sustainable and environmental friendly electric car companies actually, because they can easily make sure what will happen after a battery pack turns sour by the end of its lifetime. And so this is a nice add-on with the battery swap system in my views, and I definitely need to work now on how I can imply and incorporate that into my NIO business case and revenue estimations. But anyways, just want to share this with you, something that I'm quite excited about, frankly, because this is the long-term picture. Makes me really confident about the fundamental level on what NIO is doing there in terms of R&D and the future strategic rollout. So let me know what you think about it. Please write it in the comments. Smash a like if you appreciate this content, and then see you in the next one.